Hello everyone, this is Uncle Well. Welcome to this special edition, National Day edition of Uncle Yeow and the Singapore Story. Today we are going to discuss a topic that is probably at the back of many people's mind. And the topic is, why is Singapore so successful despite all the insurmountable odds? For example, when we became independent in 1965, we do not have any natural resources, not even water. After we broke off from Malaysia, we do not have a big domestic market. On top of that, we don't have a hinterland in Malaysia. So in spite of all these odds, how did Singapore become so successful? That's the question we want to discuss today. Now, Professor Kishore Mahbubani mentioned the three critical success factors of Singapore's success story, namely M, P, and H. M stands for meritocracy, P stands for pragmatism, and H stands for honesty. Meritocracy. Now in Singapore, everyone can be successful. If you work hard, you have the talent, maybe with a little stroke of luck, we can all achieve what we want to achieve to the best of our level in life. That's meritocracy. You don't have to go through what is called 关系. That is special connection, or you have to win favors from others. So number one, meritocracy. Number two, pragmatism. Now in whatever we do, if it doesn't work, we will discard it, we will change course. That is the Singapore way of doing things. We do not get hampered or hijacked by ideology, especially political ideology. So that is why in Singapore, we are very quick to react. If things don't work, we change course. So that is pragmatism. And last but not least, honesty, H. Now, honesty here means transparency and incorruptibility, which is the very cornerstone of our success. Because the moment we are corrupt, that's the end of everything. It is very difficult to come back again once you are corrupt, as is seen in many other societies. Now, according to Senior Minister Taman, the Singapore modus operandi, or SOP, is to always learn from the very best in the world. In Singapore, we do not invent many things. A lot of things are not original, not invented in Singapore. But what we do is we learn from the very best from around the world. Not only that, we adapt and then we adopt. And we continue to fine-tune and improve and make it our very own. That is how we do it. Our SOP, learn from the very best. Best in class practices, adapt and adopt, make it our own. Give you an example. If you look at public housing, for example, our public housing in the beginning, we actually learned from places like Hong Kong, UK, Germany, many of the Scandinavian countries. And then after that, we modify it, we improve on it, we make it into our HDB public housing system. And today, our HDB, our public housing, is acknowledged to be the very best in the world. And according to Lee Kuan Yew, all right, who is the main architect of Singapore and the master author of the Singapore story, what Lee Kuan Yew said was that in whatever we do, we must always institutionalize the knowledge. It is very important. Therefore, we create institution. Now, first of all, whatever you do, if it is successful, a one-time success, but if you cannot repeat it again, then it is not a success. Success means you must be able to repeat it over and over again. Then it is considered as successful. So what he suggested was, everything you do, you create a system first. Now, with a system, you can continue to improve on it and to fine-tune it. All right, and then you institutionalize the knowledge. Now, when you have such a system, then future generations do not have to start from zero base. They can stand on the shoulders of past generations and take it from there to develop further. But systems and institutions alone are not enough. What is more important is that they must embrace the right principles and values, which is critically important. Now, what do I mean by that? Give you an example. Quite a few years ago, when our SMRT every other day breaks down, what happened? Do you know that when our MRT first launched in 1987, it was probably one of the best train system in the world. All right, it was very efficient, it was very good. So for 25 years, nothing would happen because it is new. Now, along the way, SMRT, the management, the principles and values change. Instead of concentrating on just being a transport service and to deliver most excellent transport service, they began to try to maximize profits for shareholders at the expense of the transport engineering services. So over time, the maintenance regime has been slackened. And after 25 years, things come all together and things begins to break down very quickly. And that is the reason why SMRT, the trains, starts to fail and continue to fail one after another. So it took a while to set it right again, to go back, and then not only look at the system, now concentrate again on the right value system, which is actually transport services. So how do we make sure the maintenance regime live up to the standards that is required for the SMRT? So this is a very good example to tell you why Singapore can be successful based on the above examples that I've given you. Now, Singapore's success does not come easy. It can be taken away within very quickly. So we must never ever take for granted that we can continue to be successful until SG 100. So please everyone reflect on what we discussed today. MPH, which is meritocracy, pragmatism, incorruptibility, and then our SOP of learning from the best of the world, and then incorporate them, adopt and adapt, fine-tune and improve, and make it our very own. Of course, going forward, just to value add alone is probably now not enough. So now Singapore, we also have to look forward as to see how we can actually value create, that is to value creation. We don't just add value, but we actually create value. So this is some initiative that is very important going forward. And remembering the words of Lee Kuan Yew, institutionalize, have a very good system, but embrace the right values and principles. And with that, I think Singapore can continue to be successful. So next episode, I'll be talking about the little red dot. Why is Singapore called the little red dot? So I hope you have enjoyed this episode of our video. I wish everyone happy National Day, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Bye.